One thing I can say for sure about a match between Goku and Superman is that the entire planet would most likely be completely annihilated by the clash of these two titans. But come on, we'd all want to see it happen before we were absolutely obliterated. Goku and Superman are two of the most popular characters around, and they're both known for their incredible strength. But there are a ton of differences between them that could lead to Goku's victory in a fight. Let's look at their strengths, weaknesses, and how they'd stack up to one another in a brawl. The thing about Superman is that he's definitely a god-tier superhero. I know I'm about to make some semi-disparaging comments about his abilities, but don't think I'm not well aware of how crazy powerful he is. In fact, many versions of Superman show that he's ridiculously overpowered and capable of feats way more impressive than moving faster than a locomotive. Let's be real here, the guy can bench press the weight of the planet Earth for 5 days straight. I get winded standing by the microwave waiting for my Hot Pocket to finish cooking, so I'm definitely impressed. We've also seen Superman move the sun. I can't even look at the sun without hurting my puny human eyeballs. In the MCU, Thor calls himself the God of Thunder, but can he rearrange the planets? I didn't think so. Yes, Superman may be a god, but let's not forget that we've seen Goku utilize the Super Saiyan God transformation in the past. Taking on this form allowed him to stand against the God of Destruction Beerus, and that's no easy feat, considering he can destroy planets with a simple finger flick. True, Goku didn't manage to defeat him, but he still managed to hold his own for the most part. Being able to stand against Beerus for any length of time without being reduced to a fine red mist is quite frankly very impressive. He might not be able to bench press as much as Superman, but that doesn't mean he's weak by any stretch of the imagination. While Super Saiyan God mode can help with firepower, an even more potentially advantageous technique is Ultra Instinct. This skill means Goku's body can react to the battle waging on around him without having to stop and think about what to do next. And as much as I love Goku, we all know thinking isn't exactly his strong suit. The mere fact that he's been able to tap into Ultra Instinct at all is amazing, since we've seen Beerus struggle to use it for more than a moment in the manga. In Goku's resting state, he's strong but not anywhere near Superman's level. However, he does have some incredible power-ups and techniques available to help boost his stats and potentially give him a serious edge in battle. Goku is always trying to improve, but one of the issues with Superman as a character is that he's often depicted as just too powerful. Sure, it's fun to see him show off his strength, but it gets old seeing somebody who never loses. Watching Goku train and develop new skills is why so many of us love rooting for him. We love seeing heroes gain strength, develop new techniques, and take on new enemies that actually provide them with some type of challenge. Maybe Saitama from One Punch Man can get away with being a completely unstoppable force who defeats enemies with a single blow, but he's definitely the exception to the rule. Over the years, many authors have tried to constrain Superman's powers by giving him weaknesses, or putting him into situations where he can't go all out with his strength. Frankly, I feel like all that I need to say on this topic is that Superman was defeated by mere human being Bruce Wayne in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Listen, I love Batman as much as the next comic book fan, but the idea of him being able to defeat someone who can again move the sun is just insane. Because he has the potential to be so absurdly overpowered, Superman has way more weaknesses than Goku does. He might be stronger overall, but he has more areas that can be exploited. Goku, on the other hand, just keeps getting stronger. This hero is never satisfied with his fighting ability and is constantly pushing himself to improve. He'll lock himself inside a hyperbolic time chamber, train with an angel, and pick fights with the toughest people he can find. Yes, he does have constraints on his abilities. He can run out of time to use a transformation, or he might need to gorge himself on food in order to fuel up for a match. But despite these minor drawbacks, he's determined to keep fighting and getting stronger. On the other hand, we have Superman, who spends a lot of time and energy trying not to, excuse the Marvel term, Hulk out and destroy everything around him. Giving Superman weaknesses makes for more interesting battles, but also means he could be defeated by a focused, relentless warrior like Goku. Superman might be overall stronger than Goku, but he also has way more weaknesses that could be exploited. Let's take a look at the cons of these two characters and how they stack up against one another. Goku might be scared of needles, but he really doesn't have too many specific weaknesses that are unique to him. He could be struck down by the heart virus, but that's hardly going to help Superman in a fight. Not to sound like the late great Emperor Palpatine here, but Goku's faith in his friends and his desire to protect them can mean he's holding back in a fight. When Beerus threatened to destroy the Earth, Goku had to waste his time and energy protecting the planet instead of pummeling Beerus. He might not be the best husband or father around, but he'll definitely risk losing a battle to protect other people. But really, this potential weak point is one that wouldn't really come into play during this fight. That's because Superman is also reluctant to destroy an entire planet. We've seen Lex Luthor exploit this during Batman v Superman when he kidnapped Lois Lane and Martha Kent. It's the only reason Superman wound up fighting Batman in the battle that he, ridiculously enough, lost. Overall, this particular weakness could be considered a wash, since neither Goku or Superman would have an edge because of it. But unlike Goku, Superman has a surprisingly long list of traits that could be used against him in a battle. We all know that he can't stand against the green glow of Kryptonite. He's as weak against it as restaurant owners are against Goku's insatiable appetite. At first, the idea of Goku being able to use this against him seems unlikely, but he has a pretty big support team behind him. His friend Bulma is a genius who already invented the Dragon Radar, so is it so crazy to think she could figure out his weakness and help procure a cache of Kryptonite? It's really not any more ridiculous than them collecting the Dragon Balls and making a wish from a giant dragon. Not to mention, Shenron is a frequent source of information and power in Dragon Ball. In fact, if Goku had the power of the Dragon Balls, the match would be over before it even started. Now, let's take a look at our big, beautiful yellow sun. Well, in the form of images, not in real life. This big ball of gas helps give Superman his tremendous powers. He's basically a solar-powered superhero who's able to take light from this particular sun and turn it into raw strength. This is definitely a benefit, as long as he just so happens to be on planet Earth. If he goes somewhere with a different sun, he's much weaker, so a simple change of scenery would be enough to turn the tides in Goku's favor. This Saiyan doesn't rely on external factors for his strength. He just needs to be able to manipulate ki, and this life force doesn't rely on a certain amount of sunshine. Goku can fight full-on in arenas that would severely limit Superman. Goku's home planet Krypton has a red sun, and after being away for so long, our hero just can't stand it anymore. Yeah, visiting your hometown can be awkward for all of us, but it's especially detrimental to Superman and his powers. This light source renders Superman downright mortal, and besides Kryptonite, it's one of his most easily and frequently exploitable weaknesses. So where would this clash of the Titans take place? No matter which one of these characters would win, there is one thing we know with absolute certainty. Whatever planet they're fighting on would be utterly annihilated. Unless one of them gives up and surrenders, there's no way their powers wouldn't reduce the very ground beneath their feet to absolute rubble. Earlier, I talked about how both Goku and Superman are constrained by their understandable reluctance to destroy their homes. So in order to remove that from the equation, we have to remove both combatants from planet Earth. And to be honest, the universe itself. I'm thinking somewhere like the Tournament of Power arena. Sure, they'd end up annihilating it, but it would be a solid place to at least start their fight. Although if there's no yellow sunbeams there, Superman's universe would be quickly eliminated. This makes it all the more likely that the showdown could happen somewhere not touched by our sun. In a way, this planet is both a source of strength for Superman and his major weakness. While Goku also wants to protect the planet, he doesn't derive strength from it. And unlike Superman, he doesn't just fight for justice or to save lives. Most of the time, he just wants to fight for the fun of it. Superman constantly has to deal with the fact that he could very easily destroy everything around him if he so much as sneezes wrong. And unlike Beerus, he wouldn't take that kind of thing lightly. Then we have Goku, who's always on the lookout for a fight. Not because he's a bully, but because he just loves testing the limits of his power and learning new ways to improve his skills. This could give him an emotional advantage in the fight against Superman. He isn't going to hold back, and he'll push himself as hard as he possibly can. But Superman is known for holding back instead of going all out. Strength is an important component in battles, but let's not forget about the importance of speed. We all know that Superman is faster than a speeding bullet, but just how fast is he? We know that he's not quite as fast as the Flash, who's capable of running faster than the speed of light. We've seen him take a few minutes to get to the sun, so while he's definitely speedier than the average human, he does have his limits. But Goku can use instant transmission, which is, well, instant. And yes, in the dub, Goku does say that he travels with the speed of light, but that doesn't entirely make sense. If that were true, it would still take Goku years to travel from Earth to another planet, or another realm like King Kai's planet. So yeah, not only is he very fast, but this means he can teleport, and this gives him a massive advantage. Superman is quick, but he's not instantaneous transmission quick. This is an area in which Goku has a big advantage, and coupled with any of Superman's weaknesses, it could lead Goku to a victory in a match. In terms of raw punching power, Superman might take the top prize. Even in Super Saiyan God mode, Goku was still weaker than Beerus, and thus the Angels. There are a lot of people in his universe who are still stronger than he is. And I wouldn't be surprised if Superman was one of them. But if Superman can't land a full-on hit on Goku, then it really doesn't matter how strong he is. Because of this, speed could definitely be a deciding factor in their match. Battles tend to have a lot of variables, and it's hard to say for certain who would win in a given situation. But even though Superman is one of the most powerful comic book characters of all time, I think Goku might actually be able to win in a fight. His boundless enthusiasm for battle won't guarantee him a victory, but his superior speed and Superman's weaknesses just might be enough for him to win. Who do you think would emerge triumphantly in a match between these two titans? Tell us who you think would win and why in the comment section below, and don't forget to click subscribe for more videos from CBR. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.